Hey, welcome to this week's 3 Beer Thursday. And I know I've miscalculated again. I went and got 4 beers. Call it a drunken purchase, I know. But in this video, we're going to be looking at Nara Brewing Company based in Nara. I mean, there's not much really to guess there, is there? Like most companies, due to COVID-19, they suffered a big drop in sales. And one of the things they did was they suddenly switched to canning their beers. Now, I didn't know they were canning their beers, so what I suspect they've done is probably used crowlers. As you can see, it's kind of like a half-litre style can, and the labels are kind of nondescript. Pretty cool in a minimalistic way, you know, it's just got the name. But one thing that's pretty neat is at the top, they do have dates and actual time limits, so to speak, when to drink it fresh. So by the time you've got this video on your screens, these dates might be a little bit off. You might say, well, you know, it's been 30 days, clearly that beer is going to be bad. Well, no. That's the beauty of being able to schedule the video. And also one of the things we got in the pack, actually from Nara Brewing Company, besides some stickers, is these really funky cards. If you've ever seen Nara Brewing in the wild, they tend to send these to bars with some information about their beers because it's not that easy to find much information about them. So this is a real good helper. Thanks, guys. There's much really else to say about them. They started brewing in 2017, so about 3 years old. And they've been kind of a slow burner in Japan. They came out and they were very highly regarded when they first started. People were like, oh, you got to try this beer. And they've slowly started to become more well-known among craft beer fans, but perhaps to a casual craft beer drinker in Japan, maybe you've not heard of them. Nara is more famous for sake and temples than for actually beers. Okay, I'm going to start off in this video with the Oatmatism. Okay, so join me for that one. Okay, so as I said, we're going to have the Oatmatism. As you can see, very minimalistic can, clean white with a black title on it, and you probably can't see it very clearly, but it's got a 60-day limit on it. And the card, it says here, I mean, I'm just going to read it out. It's 3.8% with an IBU of 17. It's got Willamette Merkur hops, and it was brewed using Maris Otter, oat malt, brown malt, Cararoma, Carafa, and roasted barley. Okay, so 3.8%, actually quite low, and that's actually quite good because I've had a lot of stouts that are quite high, 5%, 6%, and they've lacked body. So get the old Nara glass out, which you get in the pack. Straight away, it's a very thick black colour. I mean, there's not much life to it, in all honesty. I'm not gonna. It's got to get in there, just squeeze in there. This is a half-litre can. Yeah, it's a very roasted barley, toffee-like aroma to it. A little bit oaty, definitely some wheats in there. It's a bit thin. It's a bit thin. It's only 3.8%, but you do get the oats that come through. There is a slight phenolic flavour to it. You definitely get that in the back. It's not, it's kind of a warming flavour to it. Quite nutty, roasted going on as well. Obviously it's 3.8. I didn't expect it to be a really bold beer. And it's definitely a nutty, creamy, chocolatey coffee. It doesn't come in screaming. I mean, there's no real hoppiness besides this faint, I guess, noble kind of like quality to it. It's not bold or brash. Like I said, you know, this probably is a crowler, so I'm trying to drink this as fresh as I can, even though it does say 60 days. I'd rather not risk it. I think in the podcast I did a few weeks back, I mentioned about crowlers. Please try to drink them fresh. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's nice to have a beer that's not 5%, 6%. I could definitely have a few more of these, definitely. But just that kind of phenolic-y flavour to it is... It's not very gassy either. It is quite thin on the gas, you know. Perhaps that's deliberate. Perhaps that's what they want. It could have been the system for the cans. But no, I actually, despite the phonic, I do quite like that actually. I do quite like that. Okay, so for the second beer from Nara Brewing, we've got this. It's called a Golden Harvest. It is supposedly a 6% Oktoberfest inspired German ale, according to this card here, which could mean it's a Marzen. I don't know. I mean, looking at the card, it says it's got Pilsner malt, 2-row pale, Munich, Melanoidin and Carorama, and it's hopped with Hallertau tradition to give it an ABV of 6% and quite a low ABU of 18. So I'm guessing, yeah, maybe more Marzen-esque than perhaps a Dortmund or something. This one actually only has a life of 30 days in the can. So yeah, it's only been 4 days since I ordered and got these shipped. I'm hoping it's gonna be okay. Got the funky glass out still. And it is a very orange color. Again, not much life to it. I'm assuming it's the crowler process. They perhaps, there's a bit of life there, not much. I mean, slight white head on top. It's not very bold. The color, a little bit hazy, copper brown. Sweet, very sweet on the nose, very caramel. A little bit roasted. It's a little bit bready as well. Slight floral, I guess, noble like aroma, but yeah, it's definitely along the lines of a Mars. Ooh, that's interesting. Kind of like a buttery, kind of like butterscotch, kind of, not buttery as in like the off flavour buttery, but definitely if you take some like butterscotch and you add your sugar, your butter, you mix it together, it's kind of got that kind of flavour to it. It's smooth, definitely maltier than perhaps some other beers I've had from Nara Brewing in the past. There's a slight booziness to it. This can actually has been out for a while, just to warm up a bit, because yeah, I don't really want to have an ice cold Marzen, to be honest. It's like Oktoberfest inspired German ale. But very smooth. Very smooth. It's a little bit on the low side of carbonation. Definitely drinkable. There's no yeast in the can as I look deep into it. Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, if you want your hops, you're not going to get anything hoppy from this. This is all about the malts here. Just that really faint, kind of florally noble hop quality to it. But I can imagine if it was a cooler day. Today it's like 20, 23, 24. I can imagine perhaps a cooler day. This would be a nice spring or autumn beer to have. So for this third beer from Nara Brewing, we've got the Quo Vadis, and I'll be honest, I never studied Latin at school. I skipped for German and French because they seemed most useful at the time. Quo Vadis basically means where are we going, and it says it's under review in terms of style. Now, I've done a little bit of reading. Some people have said this is a golden ale, some people have said it's a blonde ale. In terms of hops, it's got Hallertau Blanc and Nelson Sauvignon. It's given it an IBU of 27 and an ABV of about 4.7%. Okay. As like the other cans, as you can see, it's got the date on it there. It's quite a quick one, only 30 days. It is, like I said, probably from a crowler machine. It's got a bit more life already than the other two, which both of them did look a bit limp. And straight away, as you can see, it's got a bit more head to it actually than the other two beers. The Oatmatism especially was quite flat, as well as the pseudo Marchen beer. It's got a bit buttery nose to it. I'm not a big fan of golden ales, as I mentioned in the previous videos. It's dry, a little bit sour, buttery, white wine, grape. I have to admit, I mean, probably the nose is, again, it's got a bit of butteriness to it. You know, I'm not a big fan of golden ales, mainly because sometimes you do get them that are quite buttery, quite diacetyl, for those people who know about those bits of terminology. Just, yeah, a little bit wishy-washy, kind of a bit lemony, a bit, you know, soapy, if that makes sense. If you can have a soapy beer. Don't worry, the glass is clean. It was clean beforehand, and as you can see, there's no bubbles on the side of the glass at all. Yeah, not a big fan of it, to be honest. Like I said, it's just the butteriness. It's just nah. Shame, really. Shame. So for the final beer from Nara Brewing, we have the Lime Gose By. It's a 4.5% Gose, and without giving too much away, it contains limes. But besides that, it's also got salt in there and kaffir lime leaves. Now, I've only had one other beer that actually had kaffir lime leaf in, and that was the DD4D kaffir lime sour, and that was fantastic. That really just blew me away, and it was so good that that beer actually won a World Beer Award. So I've got high hopes for this. As you can see on the front of the can, it's actually got quite a long life compared to the other beers, 60 days, but I don't really want to wait 60 days. So straight away, it's a very light golden colour. Can't get much, there's a little bit of life in there. Again, issues with Crowler, but yeah, a bit more of a head coming on there. As you can see, a bit more of a head just there. Kind of a lightish golden colour. A little bit of haze going on. Whoo, that's lime and salt. A little bit herbal, I guess. That's probably the lime leaf going on, but yeah, it's kind of got two levels of lime going on. It's got that fresh, you know, tart warmth in your face, but kind of a sweetness to it as well. Yeah, there's not much malt coming through. It's brewed with wheat malt and two-row pale, but it's not wheaty by any means. What? Oh. Whoa, that's an interesting one. If you hadn't guessed, it was like a bulldog eating a wasp just then. But it's interesting. I mean, it's a funny word to say here, but it's complex. You got that lime tartness, saltiness going on. There's a little bit creamy nuttiness, especially in the aftertaste. It's a very interesting aftertaste. Obviously, the lime is the overpowering flavour, but once that lime is subdued, it is dry, but it is a kind of a sweetness behind it, and that's tart. That is tart. It's definitely herbal. That's really good. I mean, it's probably stretching about what a beer is. I mean, I think, you know, as soon as you start adding loads of adjuncts in, like lime, salt, you're kind of taking away from the malt and hop flavour, and there's no discernible hop flavour in there. There's no malt flavour in there. It's almost just a case of those are secondary ingredients to the actual lime and salt. But it's a shame it's not a hot summer's day today, because that would be great for crushing. Definitely worth it. Well, thanks for joining me on this 4-beer Thursday adventure from Nara Brewing. Just want to say, obviously, this really isn't representative of their beers. You know, they've put their beers into crowlers. Clearly, they're crowlers. It's not a proper canning system, which probably explains why maybe some more of the off flavors were a bit more pronounced. Maybe the beers are obviously a bit lighter in carbonation, so it's going to be hard to really judge them compared to other breweries that do properly can their beers or do bottle their beers because of the circumstances. But still, I did enjoy most of them. I think it's so clear that I didn't enjoy one of them, which for me is going to be the fourth place one, the Quo Vadis. That's supposed to be golden. Didn't really enjoy it, in all honesty. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Goldens because sometimes they can be a bit buttery, but yeah, that was not so good. I'm probably going to say for number 3, it's a tough one. I've got the Oatmatism and the Golden Harvest. The Oatmatism was a nice, light porter. I would definitely have that again. The Golden Harvest was a peculiar one. I think it's supposed to be a Marzen, but I don't know why they didn't put it on the can. I think it's supposed to be a Marzen, but neither of them really had much life to them. Again, canning process. If I look at the lids now, there's a few peaks and bumps inside them. But I'm probably going to say that is number 3. It's still really, really enjoyable. Much more enjoyable than the Quo Vadis. Number 2 was the Oatmatism. And it's a nice porter. It had some interesting flavours to it. But for me, I mean, this surprised me. The Lime Goes By, that was just, for me, a really nice beer. Very tasty. And I'll drink more of that again. Okay. Thank you for watching this 4 Beer Thursday. Like I said, do keep your beer craft and keep it local. Please, if you haven't already subscribed to us, hit the bell below. We do a video once a week for 3 Beer Thursday. And if you don't already support us on Patreon, links below. Thanks for watching.